Welcome, episode 2, the Gooch Wrestling Podcast. I'm your humble, gracious, highly favored, half-white host, Derek McLeod. I'm with Nikki Toyz, Crantity, Bruni, baby. Welcome home. Everybody, welcome home. This episode, we have AEW Revolution predictions, as well as hot takes that you sent me on Reddit. Some of them make sense. Some of you need to be locked away. Not really. That's kind of harsh. It's not that bad. There's a couple that I didn't agree with, but they're hot takes.
Maybe it's not that harsh. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll figure out. I'll try to say the most egregious ones. But all right, Toyz. Kick us off with AEW.
We're gonna go from most important to least important. The opposite it always goes.
Right.
So obviously the main event, Kenny Omega with Don Callis versus Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match for the title.
That just sounds exciting.
It's unbelievable.
I'm excited to see Jon Moxley blow up. I don't see Kenny Omega blowing up, but I'm very excited to just see this match.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting how this goes. I think that Kenny's going to win. There's no reason why he shouldn't. I mean, in their unsanctioned match, if I remember correctly, Moxley went over in that one. So I think Kenny's going to get his win in this fucking hellacious hell.
Yeah, I wonder if this match is going to be worse than. I'm assuming it'll be worse than the match that they had at what pay-per-view was that? We were watching it.
Full Gear.
Full Gear. That match was brutal. They had glass. They had tacks. They got like the barbed wire trampoline.
That shit was crazy.
That was sick. It was like the spin.
And there's definitely going to be some fuckery with Don Callis and the Good Brothers to help Kenny get the win. So
absolutely, like
100% agree.
Clean in this match, like there's no way. Moxley's going to take most of the bumps, but it's like Kenny's going to win, but they got to protect John. No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely, Bruno.
I'm very curious just to see how they execute the explosion part of this match.
No God. No.
I don't know. I don't
a whole ton of pyro.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if there's a safe way to do it.
Maybe they just blow up Jon Moxley and then he comes back in like 3 months. No God.
Just charred. Just completely charred.
Bray Wyatt.
What if he comes back as Dean Ambrose? Wrecks havoc. It's like the Fiend version of Dean Ambrose.
Exactly. That's what's gonna happen, bro. It'd be terrible.
I don't know. Just because it's Moxley, I know he's gonna like genuinely blow himself up.
They're gonna kill each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. What's the next match you want to start?
All right. Next match, we're gonna go Young Bucks versus Inner Circle, Jericho and MGF for the tag titles. I think the Bucks are gonna win here again. I think the Bucks' reign is. I don't think it's over yet. I think they're gonna continue it, and then I don't know who they're gonna lose to down the line, but
I'd like to see an FTR rematch.
That would be great.
They got to do a series of that.
Might be some Inner Circle fuckery, maybe some Good Brother and Omega fuckery because that relationship is very confusing. I like how it's being portrayed, but we'll see. I think the Bucks are gonna go over. I don't think they're I don't think their reign's over yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see them having a real short reign, and even then, I mean, I don't know how far you would get with MJF and Jericho as the tag champs. I mean, maybe you could lead to them versus Ortiz and Santana if you wanted to do that. I feel like the most logical way to do it, if the Bucks were to drop the titles, would to be, like you said, try to bring in the Good Brothers and find a way, because that doesn't seem like a true, like, I don't know. It's just maybe the way they presented it at first and the way they've kind of played it out is just kind of confused me a little bit. Yeah, I think the Bucks probably should win this. I don't think MJF and Jericho lose anything by losing this match. I think that just kind of progresses the storyline of the Inner Circle slowly changing the guard a little bit. I think it should be interesting, but it'll be a great match, if nothing else.
I just think that I think when it's the Young Bucks' time to lose it, I think they should drop it to a team where they're an established team, they're good workers, they have a good future, but I think having the titles would help them more. I don't see putting the titles on Jericho and MJF really benefiting them anymore because they're already established characters. They're already great on their own. Like,
I don't think it benefits a storyline either.
Yeah.
I think they can keep it going without the belts involved.
I
Yeah.
disagree completely. I think that MJF and Chris are there's gonna be something for some reason. But the reason they're like, where's Sammy been the last 2 weeks? What are they gonna do with him? There's gonna be like 2 or 3 teams in the inner circle that can actually that are tag teams, you know what I mean? And probably the worst one will be the champions. I feel like it'll propel them. It will let them do something else. Whereas if you literally just keep the Bucks with the championship, they've had it longer than Kenny's had it. And having the elite at the top, I love it. That's what AEW should be. But AEW is going to be a company for how long? How many reigns are the Bucks going to get? You know what I mean? None of the tag team championship reigns have actually been that long to begin with. So I feel like, especially with Darby keeping it this pay-per-view, Kenny keeping it this pay-per-view,
Something's got to give. Yeah.
that they can switch, especially because the Bucks can fucking win it whenever the fuck they want, bro.
Exactly. I mean, they could win it back. I just think the reason why you'd want them to have a longer reign just off rip would just based off the fact that to most of the American audience, you kind of want to establish them as the guys, people who don't really know the workings, they don't know that they're big executive, they're big in the ranks in AEW. You kind of want to establish them as workers and household names. But I could understand if you give the belts to the inner circle, they could have a really fun kind of feud with that.
Exactly. And they'll definitely you think Chris Jericho needs the championship for long? No. The Young Bucks can easily win it back, or you can just start playing around with different people because AEW's tag division is amazing. Just keep the rotation going.
As we'll get to in the fucking in the long,
especially with who they're gonna get, who's gonna win the battle royal, no cap.
Honestly, I could see this match going either way. They could do good with either way it goes. They could do some good with it.
I also did forget to mention too that maybe Sammy will come back and cost Jericho and MJF the win here,
or help them win it,
or help them win. It was a swerve. I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like if they help them win it, I feel like that would be so inner circle-ish. I would actually probably enjoy Sammy screwing over the Young Bucks and going back. I would probably like that a little more.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The Young Bucks, they're the Young Bucks. They're fantastic. You'll always get a 5-star match if you need one. It's just who's more entertaining right now.
Right. I feel you. Go ahead, Toyz. What we got?
All right, next. Team Taz, Cage and Starks versus Darby and Sting.
It's Sting.
It is Sting, and I think that Darby and Sting are gonna win this.
Sting, 61 years old. He has signed with this company because he wanted to wrestle in cinematic matches.
Is this going to be cinematic?
I guarantee it.
In a way, yeah.
It will not be live. It will not be live. And if it is, then Sting might lose, no cap, but we'll see.
Yeah. I think that actually.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The build of this match kind of sucks just because
it's been the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it's been the same thing over and over again. You're using Sting every week. I feel like if they use Sting every couple weeks, but literally Sting's on TV every week.
Doing the same shit.
Doing the same shit every week. I think the build has just gone on for too long.
Yeah.
And Team Taz is caused so much shit. I don't think they're gonna have Sting lose.
I honestly think the booking for this match is very not good.
No.
Solely because I think Darby should be defending that title instead of just having a stupid fucking street fight match with Taz's stupid fucking son. We don't need that. We should just have Darby. We should just have
in the match, but
His son is a handsome man.
okay.
Looks nothing like Taz.
Nothing like him. But anyway, no. Darby should be defending the title against Brian Cage, and Sting should be having his own like singles match with whoever the hell from Team Taz. Hobbs or Stark. I didn't say Taz.
Taz and Sting in a weapons only match.
buckle bombs.
My
Taz returns for one match only.
Vertebrae to win.
My complaint with this booking is purely FTR was built up, like not FTR, whatever they are. They were built up, and now Brian Cage lost to Darby already, clean, and what? They're just gonna lose to them again, and now what? Like, what are they? Gonna...
It puts Team Taz in a hole.
Exactly. Like, I understand, like, Darby Allin, future Sting icon, but
absolutely. But
what Brian Cage and Ricky Starks are like, what? I just don't know what they're gonna do.
Brian Cage is technically a former world champion, so I mean, he should be treated better.
They set Team Taz up for failure. You can't have Darby lose in his first title defense. But then you also can't have Sting lose. Like, you bring Sting back just for him to lose. Like, I just feel like
that's what WWE did.
No, yeah, like good.
But you can't do that again.
Agreed to
exactly.
But
history has a tendency to repeat itself. So hopefully we don't get a Sting burial.
I think AEW is so against the Fed. I don't think they're gonna do Sting dirty like that.
They're very about the WCW connection. No doubt.
Yeah, I just think it's two different situations though. Like when WWE brought in Sting, it wasn't like he lost to put over a younger talent. He lost to put over Triple H, which was baffling still to this day. If he loses here, I could see it because it's him putting over Cage and Starks. Like that would make sense. Like, it didn't make sense then, but it makes sense now. But now you're kind of doomed because whoever just had Sting last kind of screwed him up. I think Sting's WWE run was terrible.
Who don't know Sting at all? Like, his first match back, you just lose. Like, why does he have this whole thing? Like, he has snow every time he comes. Snow.
They spend money on the snow. It's not even snowing outside.
They're in Florida. They're in Florida.
You imagine that's a pimp move. You make it snow in Florida. Put that man in the hall.
That's what he's doing, bro. That's what he's doing.
He can lose every match, but he brought snow to Florida, and nobody's done that since Freddie Gibbs. So respect.
All right, next. It's not listed on the card, but while I have it in my head so I don't forget, Paulithan Whiteathan came on TV and said that they were going to be a big Hall of Fame worthy signing.
I have the biggest scoop ever.
Scoop ever. At Evolution this Sunday. I don't know. There's a lot of speculation. People are like, it's got to be CM Punk. It's not CM Punk.
It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be Brock.
As much as I would love it.
A lot of money.
As much as I would love it.
Tom's got it.
I from what I've heard from Punk in interviews, he is very content with where he's at right now. I don't think he really wants to come back to wrestling at all, or anyone.
Everybody, y'all got to give up on the CM Punk pipe dream. It's over. It's over. He had a great run.
I don't want to.
They did him dirty. He had a great run.
Another one.
I got to. But I don't know. The biggest thing I've been seeing lately is, I guess, in interviews lately, Mark Henry's been talking a lot about how he wants to get back in the ring. So maybe Mark Henry.
Be good to see him.
That would be interesting.
I've seen a lot about Christian. I don't know.
I don't
know his contract
John
situation.
Completely name dropped him in an interview. He's like, "Hey, who do you want to work with from possibly WWE?" And he's like, "Christian looked amazing." So
wait, who said this?
John Moxley.
Oh,
yeah. So John Moxley said it, but they also say it all the time. You know what I mean?
What are you gonna do when it's Carlito though?
I'd be happy.
That would be fucking hyped, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer other than spitting
I don't.
apples in
I'm
his face.
going into the Mania feud though between Roman and Edge. I'm pretty sure Christian's always intertwined somehow. Like Roman Reigns gonna like beat the shit out of him
But
or something.
that's the thing is that with the fucking Drew McIntyre thing, like Big Show was part of that too. Like Christian was too. And Big Show just left. That's my only like reason why like Christian, because Big Show just left. Nobody thought Big Show was gonna leave. Christian maybe.
I just think WWE is gonna want to use Christian for the Mania feud. So I don't think.
Hey, I understand. I just want to see Christian wrestle.
Yeah.
Captain Charisma, baby.
I'm just tired of seeing Christian die for Edge's sins. That's
Yeah.
like the only thing.
That's like been the thing for years.
I mean, Christian's so good when he's by himself. Dude, that heel run after Edge retired with the world title.
One more match.
Amazing.
Dude, and his TNA run was great. Freaking
Dude, he had 2 reigns combined for a month, and it was golden.
Exactly.
How do you do that? Like, that's crazy. I would love to see Christian by himself.
Christian's coalition, that's how he did it. Him, AJ, and like Tyson Tomko, and then somebody else, I think.
Tomko's a king, bro. Tomko just followed that man everywhere.
Tomko is the true homie.
Can't wait for Brodus Clay to debut in AEW.
Yeah, to be honest, like I don't really have any sure guesses. I mean, like Mark Henry is
like the Mark Henry one. That makes a lot.
That'd be cool. I'd always be happy to see Mark Henry. Yeah. But I don't want to see happy Mark Henry. I want to see like very angry.
Somebody just pissed
gonna get their
off.
ass kicked.
Yeah.
Mark Henry.
Hall of Pain Henry. That's what I'm going for. I don't know, bro. I'm really excited. Really, really excited to watch future Hall of Fame talent Zelina Vega debut in AEW. That's probably who Paul White is talking about.
I have the biggest scoop ever. I like how his whole gimmick is no more BS.
Yeah, I like that. Everyone's shitting on the shirt, and I mean, like the shirt's kind of bland, but I like the catchphrase.
The catchphrase is good if you didn't.
I'm liking the dig at WWE though. No more Big Show.
Yeah, a lot of people are sick at that. Sick of the little digs at WWE. Young Bucks made a Performance Center mention in their
BT
argument. I mean, I kind of get it, but it doesn't really bother me that much.
All right, boys. Before I leave, my only prediction for the for the tag team casino match.
All right, well, we'll go to that match. Let me just before you make your prediction, let me just list all the teams because there's like 20.
It's gonna be Lars Sullivan, by the way.
Bear Country, the Dark Order, Reynolds and Silver, Dark Order, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Dark Order 5 and 10, Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz, Butcher and Blade, Private Party, Top Flight, Death Triangle, Pac and Phoenix, Varsity Blondes, the Seidel Brothers, SCU, Kazarian and Daniels, Natural Nightmares, Chaos Project, Gun Club, Austin and Colton, and Pretty Picture, which is Caesar, Bononi, and Peter Avalon.
What a division.
That is a lot of people.
Division.
That's a beautiful tag division.
Beautiful.
And I have a fantastic opinion.
Would you say you have the biggest scoop ever?
Business 2.0.
I would like
Triangle. That's bro.
Solid.
I think Penta is gonna win the ladder match just because I'm gonna.
I was gonna say that.
Bro, Penta is so good. He is so good. I love everything Ray and Penta do, but give Penta a shot because he's older. But also just give them the entire title division. I would be ecstatic. No.
You know who would be a good pick? Butcher and Blade. That'd be kind of good.
I would like Butcher and Blade. That'd be a good choice. There's a lot of ways you could go with this.
I could really see them pushing Dark Order.
Yeah, I do want.
I think they're going in that direction.
I want Dark Order to get some gold.
Bruni Kissy.
Bruno Levy. Bye, Bruno.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you for joining. It means a lot.
I wish I could stay for long.
All right, episode 3. We got you. Thank
but
you.
Yeah, I also agree. I also agree with Bruno though. I do think Death Triangle is gonna get the win here.
I
Solid.
would like that.
I think that'd be a great idea.
The only reason I wouldn't, I want to see Pac go for. I want to see Pac versus Kenny.
That would be good.
1,000%. I want to see Pac versus Kenny. I think Hangman is going to be the one to take that title off him, but I'd love to see in the meantime Pac versus Kenny. That match would go insane.
That'd be a very good fight.
So, continuing to the Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future TNT title shot. Cody, Scorpio Sky, Penta, Lance Archer, Max Caster, one half of the Acclaimed, and then to be determined. Who is
mystery? A mystery.
Dave
Meltzer told me that it was a victory.
Maybe that's the special debut.
If one of them is Rob Van Dam, I don't care. I'm telling you now, I don't care if it's Rob Van Dam.
I don't care.
Not anymore.
No one cares. No one really should care. He needs to retire. How much flippy shit can you do though? I wouldn't even say flippy shit.
He doesn't really do flippy shit. He's just kind of like.
He's just there now.
Yeah, it's like wife twerks. Just go lay out somewhere.
Exactly.
You don't need to jump off ladders.
I think my two choices to win this match would probably be Penta, and I was thinking maybe Lance Archer, because if you put him in a match against Darby, another giant versus little guy dynamic match. But I do kind of agree with Bruno. I would like to see Penta get a shot at some gold.
It'd be awesome.
That'd be nice.
No gold that isn't tag team gold before.
I wouldn't rule out whoever the mystery person is.
Depending on who it is.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it depends.
If it's not a return, I'd like to see Miro in some capacity.
Well, no, he's on the card. Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, is he? Where is he on?
He's on the card.
Oh boy.
He's in a tag match.
Then royally fucking up Miro.
No, we'll get to that.
No.
But I'm trying to think.
Lashley's doing better.
Is there anyone injured on the AEW roster that could return? I
saw that it wasn't a return and that it's someone brand new. So.
Okay. Well, that would be interesting if that is the signing Big Show's talking about. It
better be Slater.
As opposed to, because that would be interesting if they had two big signings / returns or a return or whatever in one night.
Yeah, but I feel like it would just make sense in the ladder match, because how else would you debut this brand new superstar? Would they just come out and be like, hey, I'm all elite?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it'd be better if you put him in a match.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That would make sense. But I'm hearing that it's two different.
I also realized, unless they're just not listed here on this list I'm looking at, but no FTR on this card anywhere.
Nope. They had that blow-off match with Tully on Wednesday.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and no Jurassic Express in this either. Wow, yeah, I figured they just throw it in.
Yeah, that's probably why they had that super card the night before.
Yeah,
people that couldn't make it out of the. Doesn't Matt Hardy have some random match against Hangman?
Yep.
Am I missing a build to that?
No. Yeah. Not really.
Not really.
Happened. Okay.
But it's Hangman Adam Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy. And the winner receives the loser's 2021 first quarter earnings. That's the stipulation on this match. So basically, I'll go over the build for you. Pretty much, Matt Hardy's got the big money gimmick, which I enjoy. I think it's great.
Big money Matt, baby.
He's going around, trying to be like a manager, hire talent. He's got Private Party under his wing. TH2 is kind of under his wing as well. I fucking hate TH2. I hate them a lot. Their gimmick sucks. They're British and they dance. Fuck them. Anyways. But yeah, pretty much he was trying to recruit Hangman. Hangman didn't want it. And then Dark Order pretty much unlimited minutes.
Yeah,
let's go. We got it, baby. Unlimited.
So pretty much Adam declined Matt Hardy's offer. Matt Hardy and goons have been beating up Hangman just for him to get saved by everyone in the Dark Order. So that's pretty much what the build is. I don't think this match is going to be a clean match. There's going to be some form of fuckery, but I do think Hangman's getting this win.
Do you think we're going to see a payoff to the Hangman Dark Order debacle? Do you think we can see him join?
I have a great prediction. You ready for this?
Crant.
You ready for this?
Pause.
Yes.
It's gonna lead up to the Dark Order's -1 versus King Maxwell, Matt Hardy's son, and it's gonna be the greatest match ever. Just
like there's still like a big age difference. So -1 is
like 11.
Yeah, Maxwell's like 4.
Maxwell's like 4.
beat his ass. Get him, Brody.
It would be a great like comedy segment.
Oh, I would love that. That would be awesome.
Hysterical.
I'm upset I didn't think about that before you. That was really good. That was really good. All right, next up.
Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I think Hangman's gonna win. I don't know how the Dark Order stuff's gonna play into it because I don't know how deep they're gonna go with this Dark Order feud because I don't know how long they're gonna put off. I don't know how long they're gonna put off Hangman Omega. I think they might have one or two Kenny feuds before they get to that. So,
but I feel like being in the Dark Order and kind of establishing them as a unit.
They've been established.
I mean, of course, but I mean, kind of really getting into the groove because obviously, like, there's a huge hole, huge shoes to fill. Brody passed away, so if you kind of establish Hangman as like the pseudo leader of the group, then you build them up as baby faces, and now he's established in a certain light.
Derek, I'm so sorry to cut you off like that, bro.
I'm listening.
I 100% agree with you, but I disagree on the fact that they should push him as baby faces. I think Hangman should join Dark Order. I think he should become the pseudo leader, and I think they should be pushed as heels because Hangman's whole thing at the moment, the whole reason he's having this Dark Order like storyline is because he's been left alone by his friends. The Bucks, Omega left him. So now it's his chance. He's finally found like his like people, I guess you could say.
Right.
And he could just go against the Bucks. He could fuck them over for the titles. He could fight with Omega. Endless goons versus goons. It'd be great.
And
the only issue with that is how do you boo Dark Order at this point?
Yeah, I do like that idea, but like after the whole unfortunate Brody Lee thing, it's been evident that they're full-blown baby faces.
I like it though. I like the idea.
I don't think that's going to change.
And I think they could still do that.
Because there's so many heel factions. There's the one forming with FTR, Sean Spears, Tully. You got Inner Circle, Kenny. I mean, the Good Brothers Kenny thing. That's like they're like tweeners, but they're heels at the same time.
That's heel. Yeah, they're heel.
So, and then Matt Hardy's whole clan now are heels. I just think they kind of need, at least for now, I think they need a babyface faction.
I think Dark Order is perfect as babyfaces at this point.
Do you think that there might be too many factions?
There's just so many fucking people.
Yeah, I mean,
at this point, yeah.
Show.
You gotta put them together. You got the Nightmare Family. That's not a faction though.
It's not really a faction. It's kind of like it's more like
that's pretty much just Cody Rhodes' vlog squad.
Yeah,
if we're being honest,
that's just like who like comes out with him when he has like a big match.
Austin Gunn, here's your new Lamborghini.
Where's QT?
Oh, he's in the back. He's blowing up bubbles. What if QT's whole next gimmick is just him blowing bubbles?
He'd do well with it.
I have no interest in QT Marshall.
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah, no. But from what I hear, he's like a good backstage coach and whatever, so he's got a purpose. He does a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, he's Cody Rhodes' friend. That's his purpose. Same thing with David Dobrik. You exist to be Cody Rhodes' friend.
Real.
Yeah, Cody.
QT Marshall is like QT Marshall's like diet Timothy Thatcher, I feel.
Thatcher is better.
Obviously, that's why I said diet.
Diet, right. All right, Toyz, what we got next?
All right, next, Miro and Kip Sabian versus best friends Orange and Chuck Taylor. Just a normal tag team match.
Oh, it's not Trent and Chuck Taylor?
Trent's hurt.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So put Chuck. Okay.
I think he either fucked up his shoulder or his tricep or tore his tricep or something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but
I think Miro's taken.
At some point, you got to pull the trigger on Miro being a monster, and I think
I think I think they got to put Miro and Kip over here. I think we need to get Miro up the card because this whole feud wasn't terrible, but it all started because I think it was Orange got thrown into their video game machine. Like, I don't know. It was a little stupid, and then it went to the wedding. And I don't know.
Just keep Miro away from weddings.
The thing is, at this point, it's not a huge. Since they're adding our third show, it's not a huge deal, I think. But there's so many people on this roster, so many established stars. There's so many people that they're building right now, especially during the pandemic era. It's just gonna be like this. There's gonna be so many big names in like smaller feuds, like little smaller dinky feuds. That's just how it's gonna be.
Right.
And then there's also gonna be more matches like the fucking tag team battle royal just to fucking.
It's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at every AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, it's like there's gonna be something.
Those matches are fun. I mean, when you have that big of a roster, I'm never mad at it. But I mean,
it's just how it is. I like I said, Miro's got to go over. Yeah. They got to build him up as a beast. Maybe get a TNT title shot in the future, or go for the world title. Fuck it. But
the only thing is that the world title picture where he kind of belongs is so like it's already kind of planned out. Like Hangman should take it off him, but Kenny's got to have a long reign. So if you're gonna push him there, you got to wait about a year. Or if you send him up there, he's gonna. It's just I don't know. It's complicated. It comes with wrestling though. It comes with timing and how you push people and where they are in the card.
All right, women's title match: Hikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami, the winner of the women's title tournament.
I think they're giving it to Shida.
Yeah, I think Shida's gonna. I'll explain this for the buy-in match right after this, which is another women's match. I think Shida's going to retain. I do like the whole tournament. They did the U.S. side, the Japan side, and then having the Japan side be on YouTube. I think that was a great idea. I think that's a concept they need to bring back, even have a online like tournament for like maybe like for the men's side. But yeah, I don't know anything about Ryu Mizunami, and I don't think most people do. So I don't think she's gonna win. I think Shida's going to keep it, and yeah, Shida's keeping it.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say besides Shida's keeping it, and they need to really, really have a different type of interest in that women's division. Well, because the way they've had it booked just doesn't appeal to me.
No,
I don't know. It just doesn't reach me.
Let me.
I'm sorry. Well, now that you just got Rio back, now they can like have more of like an established like women's roster. In a sense, and they could probably get anyone from like Japan. They do a lot of collaboration with NWA, and they always have Serena Deeb on the show.
That's true, but you also want to build up your AEW champion and not just always showcase Serena Deeb and her title.
Yeah, that's why they should have Serena Deeb lose sometimes, and not always have her win just because she's NWA Women's Champion.
Yeah, that's true. She's solid though. She's solid.
Dude, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with her losing like a non-title match. It's not like she's losing it. It's not like she's losing her title on a whole different show.
And then that will lead to the buy-in match, which is Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel. And I think
Thunder Rosa.
Not on this night, I don't think.
Really?
Dude, Dr. Britt Baker has been the best woman's like overall character within the past year. They've given her a lot of screen time for promos and stuff to make her look like an absolute heel, but they're not giving her in-ring success. So just not even a lot of ring time.
That's why it confuses me. Like if you have an established, like I know you're trying to build up Shida as somebody, and you're doing a decent job of that because she's been champion for so long, but Baker's obviously the face of that division. I think if you were to try to name one AEW female talent, it would be Baker. And it's just nothing. Her and Thunder Rosa, I mean, you kind of just throwing them together in a match. I don't know.
So basically what I think is going to happen is I think Britt Baker's going to win this. momentum from this match, maybe a couple Dynamite matches, I think she's going to be the one to dethrone Sheeta at some point, and I fucking hope it is.
Yeah.
I'm sick of seeing. Thank God Nyla's not on the fucking card, because I'm like, I don't want to shit on Nyla too hard, but I'm just fucking sick of having her always in the picture just because she's in the Nia Jax position. She's the
The heavyweight, the heavyweight bruiser, yeah.
The heavyweight bruiser, and she's been getting more shots and more screen time than Britt Baker, who is by far the most developed female character on that roster for sure.
Right.
And
before people come at us, heavyweight, we don't mean it like that, okay? She's a big girl, and she's very strong. That's what we mean.
So,
you know, like she just built different, you know.
Quite literally, yeah, she just built different.
Britt Baker is the most established character on that roster, and she hasn't had the title yet, which blows my mind.
Yeah, not even just the title, just any really form of that much ring success.
Yeah,
I just figured that they were just gonna give her like the title shot after this. She was gonna lose, somehow beat Sheeta in like a non-title match, and then eventually just build up to the title match.
I guess. I mean, as long as she's in the picture at this point.
Yeah. Like Nick said, Britt Baker is like literally the number one AEW women's star. Like, who are they gonna put over? She's the hottest in the company right now.
Yep. So gotta push her.
I mean, she was carrying the women's division because after Corona happened, Rio was a champion. She's gone. Titles disappeared for months, and then they finally brought it back. But in that whole time, the woman that was on TV every week was Britt Baker. She got hurt. She was doing like the whole wheelchair thing with Rebel pushing her and those Shivani hilarious interviews.
I also just want to butt in and just say Shivani might be the best at what he does in his job than anybody in the world. That man fits into that show like a glove, like the MC of the shit. I love it.
Shivani hasn't missed a beat since he came back.
Shivani is damn near everything that Renee Young probably should have been in WWE. The way they produced her, kind of make him like the host of it. That man does a wonderful job. I love the way that man MCs that show.
Listen, if Jim Ross was 10 years younger, we'd be talking about Jim Ross. Why are we not talking about the fact that Shivani and Jim Ross are on the same commentary booth together?
Incredible. It's an incredible squad. AEW's not bad on announcers. They have a better announce team than damn near anybody.
Absolutely.
Top two, and I don't think they're two.
You got Shivani, JR, Excalibur.
Shut up, Excalibur.
You got Taz.
Quiet.
You got Taz. You're adding Big Show.
You mean Paul White? Excuse me. No more BS, bro.
No more
Don't
BS.
do that. Come on.
But
no more BS.
That's a lot of. And then every once in a while they throw Jericho on there. When Jericho's on there, he's great.
He's great. He's great at that.
So, yeah, I think. And to be honest, like, I don't want to sit through dark and watch like 14 pretty much like the enhancement matches, but Taz is hysterical. So, I would.
You ever play the skin flute?
Yeah, play skin flute.
Shut up, Excalibur.
The fact that Taz can just say anything and get away with it now is
that's great. That's the best part. I feel like to me about AEW. I mean, I feel like WWE has just the established brand, and they have a lot of stars that are established. So you tune in for them. But just in terms of presentation and the whole angle that AEW goes for, just the edgier product that wrestling is better off being, not a PG product. It's awesome. Awesome for someone in our age group.
For sure.
Absolutely. What are you going to do when they give Excalibur the horny announcer gimmick like Jerry Lawler?
He's already got it. he's already rigged up.
He can't stop playing that skin flute.
Still can't believe Kenny Omega the WWE champion, bro.
Brian Cage looks big. That's all right.
JR like still has what it takes to like be a great commentator, but he's also like got that like senile old age in him, and just make it like really funny.
All the greats start to tail off at the end.
I know.
if you're not Stone Cold.
All right. Well, before hot takes time, I gotta go inhale a melatonin, and I'll be back.
Inhale a melatonin.
What does that mean? He like
Taking
melts.
ass.
He like melts it down and just like wafts it in his nose or something. I don't know.
He's heating up a spoon with melatonin in it. We see him off camera. He's like,
dude, he like syringes it into like a nose spray bottle, and he's just like spraying it.
we're gonna have to get Nick a gimmick of just like a terrible addict of some sort.
But it's got to be something like casual. It can't be like something like.
What, you just have it like in the next room over? Where's the spoon?
It's a gummy.
Show us the lighter. Stop lying to
Yeah,
us.
show us the lighter and the spoon, and if you have a belt, you can show
Alright.
us too. It can be. It doesn't have to be designer.
I already put it away.
Imagine putting heroin in your body using a Louis V belt. Oh man.
Going out in style.
I mean,
Actually,
I guess you're using your money a certain way.
Alright.
I don't know.
What
All
hot
right.
takes do we have tonight?
I'm gonna lead it off. I went on Reddit, asked some people for some hot takes about wrestling, some fan submitted hot takes. Some of these were okay, some of these I understood, some of these I'm not really liking, and I'm going to start off with this one. This was from user Gold Ruslan, but it's spelled differently. So Go1D Ruslan. This man says, Dean Ambrose is better than Jon Moxley. To that, I say you may have more of a problem with drugs than Nick
Hot take.
no.
Can y'all see that?
Vince is going, baby. It's Hunter's company. Papa H.
Whoa. Sorry, I'm just going through Instagram. Apollo's got he's got the soldiers with him.
I love that. That's fire. You better come out. You better come out in a tank at Mania. All right. So, what are your opinions on Dean Ambrose better than Jon Moxley? I completely disagree. I think presentation is everything, and I think the way WWE presented him was just as this crazed maniac, the third guy on the Shield who never really got his day in the sun. Roman main evented 4 WrestleManias in a row. Rollins is an established star, and you had Ambrose pushing around a golf or a little. I mean,
a hot dog cart.
Hot dog stand. I mean, there's nothing wrong with stuff like that. But when
That shit was funny, though.
It was funny.
It was funny, but what the difference between Moxley is Moxley's a hardcore badass, and Moxley, like,
are we debating the name, or are we debating them as wrestlers?
Oh, Jon Moxley is a better name than Dean Ambrose. Why would I be afraid of a man named Dean?
Why are you afraid of a man named Moxley?
His first name is John. I fear John.
Dude, there are 800,000 Johns in America.
Is their last
probably.
name Moxley? And has he gone through like barbed wire like every other week?
I guarantee you 12 of them have, and you live in fear.
I live in constant fear.
Character-wise, Dean in the Shield wasn't terrible. He was a good third piece to that.
Absolutely.
I mean, someone's got to be the third fiddle, and I think he served well as the third fiddle. He was still kind of like, he wasn't really comedy when he was the Shield. He was still like this he was like the crazy badass when he was in the Shield. But once the Shield broke up, they turned him into all comedy.
That's what I'm talking about.
For the most part.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't mind the comedy being mixed in there, but like if you're a guy that's supposed to be main event stature and you just make him a comedy act every week, it's just like it doesn't make him look good compared to everyone else.
And during the time, I didn't think it was that bad. It's still funny.
No, I enjoyed it. I'll go back and watch the clips, but
he at least put on quality matches. Like I'll never forget the Money in the Bank match he had with Rollins. It was him and Rollins. It was like a ladder match.
What about the steel cage match he had with Jericho?
That was okay. That was pretty cool.
No, that was a good one.
Yeah, some people didn't really like that, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was
that started the whole like tack gimmick where Chris Jericho always had to tell everyone about how many thousand tacks he went through.
Yeah, thousands of tacks.
That was a good one.
I think there was one instance where I said, why are you doing Dean Ambrose like this? And it was when he had WWE title. I thought he was doing great. Went over to SmackDown. He was the lead guy. I thought the build into the match with Ziggler was great, even if the match wasn't that good. I thought the build to it was great. He got into this feud with AJ Styles, and I'm thinking, wow, these are two great wrestlers. They're going to do great. That man ended SmackDown. AJ Styles had his nuts dragged across the top rope, and he just let him hang, and he was laughing at it like it was a little giddy. This man has gone through thumbtacks 3 times a week for his entire life, and you got this man playing with the ring ropes and AJ Styles' balls. That's not what you want to see from him. You didn't see Roman doing giddy shit like that. You never saw Seth to that point doing giddy shit like that. It didn't work out. Moxley is just more so him going back to what made him. Back to what got him to the dance is just being some hardcore freak. Somebody who's cool with taking all that pain, and I think he's perfect in the role he's in now.
Before we move on, I just want to say that, like, Dean Ambrose wasn't always that third guy in the Shield. When they first came on, he kind of almost was like the appointed leader in a way, until like Roman and Seth like started like gaining their own hype. Before that, Dean was like the assumed leader,
the mouthpiece,
and one of the longest reigning United States champions of the 2010s. So
can't forget he defended that title like once every 4 months.
Yeah, but he's still a Triple Crown winner.
That is true. I mean, look, his WWE career was not by any means a fluke. Like, he did very, very well for himself. It's still a very quality career. Being part of the Shield already has him in the Hall of Fame. But just his presentation compared to the other two guys. It didn't matter how he came in. It just made him seem like he was just part of it.
It's just like when Vince wants to bring comedy into it. It like either it's funny at first or overstays its welcome, or it just misses the mark entirely.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, if we're comparing Dean Ambrose to Jon Moxley, you also have to look at accolades as well. Instead of a Triple Crown winner, he's actually Grand Slam, didn't cross my mind, Grand Slam champion. And, Jon Moxley pretty much, only thing I could think of is probably like a CZW belt and the AEW World Championship.
I will say, though, if you are comparing that, his world title reign in AEW eclipses any title reign he had in WWE, even if he had the U.S. belt for a year. The AEW title reign was crazy. During a pandemic, like he held that up on his back.
Which is a good reign. He had it nearly a year.
Yeah, exactly.
And it didn't get stale. When he lost that belt, I was like, you know what? It was a good run. It made sense to drop it, and it's really hard for a babyface reign to really go that long without people getting sick of it.
Yeah.
I think he toted that line perfectly by not being the typical "I fight for you" type of thing. It was just an angry man.
Yeah.
That's what you got to be. All right, next hot take. Let's see. This man says, Voaxel says, head of the table is boring as fuck. Thoughts?
I was saying this earlier. I don't think it's boring as fuck. I think this is Roman's best character work ever. But I think after Mania, if he doesn't lose the belt, if he retains against Edge, which I think he probably will, I think they got to tweak it a little bit to spice it up.
I think it'll be tweaked in the form of Jimmy Uso coming back. I feel like they're only treading water a little bit, just kind of waiting for Jimmy to come back, because at that point, the whole thing is Jay is doing Roman's dirty work, and that's gone well, but you've been doing it since October. So to that point, once you get Jimmy back in the fold, now you can have a dominant heel Uso SmackDown tag team title run, because
they're gonna.
WWE doesn't care about their tag teams at all. You might as well give the Usos the belt for a year. And at that point, now you can have Roman not just win by a whole bunch of fuckery, but you could also establish him as a beast, because he looks like a legitimate beast. But how many matches has he really won against somebody not named Jey Uso without some semblance of help?
Fair point.
This is as great as Roman has looked. He looks more like a star. He's more believable as a badass. And yet the only convincing wins are the ones against his family. and those are the people he employs. But you
No.
have a lot of problems putting down a Kevin Owens. You're going to have a lot of problems putting down an Edge. And if they have a Daniel Bryan match at the pay-per-view at Fastlane, there's going to be some sort of bullshit that's involved in that as well.
Yeah, you were talking about how they don't care about their tag teams. I completely forget that Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are the SmackDown Tag Champions. I have not seen them do a single thing.
Yeah, I really don't care about their tag team, right?
I don't watch weekly WWE programming, but
yeah, they missed the boat on Bobby Roode. That's all I gotta say.
Oh.
No, but I honestly think there are only like a couple minor tweaks I'd make with the whole head of the table story arc so far. I think everyone instead of like everyone going along with Roman, I think Roman should just be more of like a forceful leader. I think Paul Heyman should be like, dyingly afraid of him.
Absolutely.
He should be shivering his boots every time he stands next to him.
Yes.
And Jey Uso should just like cry every time Roman tells him to do something.
Once the Usos come back, I feel like that whole thing is gonna flip.
Bro, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Unless you have Jimmy against Jay at Mania, that would be sick.
That'd be very weird.
Jimmy versus Jay at Mania would be awesome. I'd like that.
I don't think if that happens, I don't think it's gonna be this year.
Yeah, I don't think that's this year.
I think you can do it this year. Because think about it.
Probably.
If you were going to do Jay versus Jimmy at Mania this year, remember Jay was like, don't let him like influence you. And now Jay is just straight up just taking every order from Roman. What if Jimmy comes back and was like, what are you doing? And they fight one another.
It wouldn't storyline wise it would make sense. I just don't think Jimmy's gonna be healthy enough yet. They said he's coming back soon, but
it's been a year.
How soon is soon?
Mania's in a month.
Yeah, he blew his knee out at Mania. It's been almost a year.
That where he blew his knee out?
Right. Yeah, Mania.
Damn, has been a year.
Yeah, so that's why I just wonder. Like, I feel like he should be coming back soon, but I don't know.
I think if he comes back, I don't think it's going to be soon enough to really have a build going into Mania. I think it would maybe be more of a SummerSlam thing.
I'd love an Uso brother blood feud.
No, that would be sick.
Because they're both incredible wrestlers. Like, they're obviously, I think, one of the greatest tag teams. Like, if you put the best tag teams of the past 10, 15 years.
Usos carried the tag team division for years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
New Day, Usos, Young Bucks. Those are the three pillars of tag team wrestling over the past 10 years. And
FTR.
FTR also. But, I mean,
I give as much credit to FTR as I do Beer Money. And I don't know.
Oh, I forgot about Beer Money.
I don't know what you want to do with that statement, but Beer Money is much better than FTR.
Is James Storm coming to AEW?
What if James Storm's coming to AEW?
Remember he was in NXT for like a day?
Good times when I thought James Storm was gonna. Dude, James Storm is like underrated and overrated at the same time. It's like bad.
He's been in TNA forever.
Not even that. It's just that they give him like awful gimmicks.
Well, James Storm's back. He's back in Impact now.
Yeah, for like the next 2 years until he retires. Dude, no, they gave him bullshit gimmick after bullshit gimmick, and people loved it for like a second every time. Everything he's done has always been like he's always been somewhat interesting, except for like a couple exceptions. Like when he was running like a cult and he was doing like DCC with Eddie Kingston and Bram.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that
I forget Eddie Kingston was in Impact for a little bit.
He was.
All right, I got this one hot take. This guy gave me a number of hot takes. We'll respond to this one really quickly. We'll make this quick because there's another one that I just want to trash completely. Matt Hardy is better than Jeff Hardy. I think from a wrestling standpoint, Jeff Hardy is obviously better and more exciting. But if you're talking about from a character development standpoint, Matt Hardy has proven that he is one of the greatest gimmick wrestlers.
Oh, for sure. Not even close. And I think if we're looking at it overall, like if we're including the wrestling side and the character side, and you like just combine them and look at them as overall people, I think Matt Hardy's over Jeff, because literally all of Jeff's, looking back in the Federation, other than his tag team days with the Hardy Boys, which were great, but when he was a singles guy, all of his big feuds like the CM Punk one where he got the title, like all those big feuds, dude. It's always about like, yeah, you're a druggie.
Yeah. No,
You're
everyone
You're a
holds
druggie,
drugs.
and then he wins, like to
Yeah.
get up on him, like. And
I mean-
and the CM Punk and Hardy feud was amazing.
Because that was the first time they did it.
That was the first time they did
Great.
it.
And Punk is great at that. But
when
after
you
that,
and that feud helped establish Punk as a huge main star as well, a big ass badass heel. But at the end of the day, like they've like gone to that well like 3 or 4 times since.
More.
Not even just in
More.
WWE though, in like other companies like TNA too.
Exactly.
Victory Road, 2011, baby.
No, I'm
Pull
not
up
even
to the function like Jeff Hardy. Finish
Hell
me off in a
fucking yeah.
minute.
It's like Jeff Hardy's whole career. He's done like amazing. He's had amazing moments, a lot of crazy moments in wrestling. But at the end of the day, his whole character's been like, I have drug problems, and I do crazy flips because of it. Like that's like literally that's his whole gimmick.
Whenever I've been asked who was the better Hardy brother, I put it like this: if Jeff wasn't falling off high shit all the time, would he be the better brother?
No, but Jeff is jumping off higher.
I don't think he's the better brother, and he does do that.
I think he's just such his character as just a sympathetic babyface, because when like he's Daniel Bryan levels of babyface, where people will live and die by their Jeff Hardy love forever. So I feel like even though Matt Hardy has a better character or realm of characters, I think Broken Matt Hardy was probably better than anything either of them have done. But Jeff's just it's established as this super sympathetic babyface has always been a complete well. And whenever you're enough of a babyface, the WWE puts the main belt on you, that speaks more volumes than anything ever, because that man pinned, it might have been Trips or Edge for the title. But yeah, that's
either way, he beat both of them.
Yeah, he beat both of them. Like I don't know. I legacy wise, Jeff is gonna outweigh Matt. But if you do want to look at it from a character perspective in other ways, I'm not mad at anyone saying Matt is over Jeff. I understand it.
I've personally enjoyed Matt Hardy's gimmicks more than I've ever enjoyed Jeff Hardy gimmicks.
Jeff Hardy gimmick is always one thing. It's just Jeff
Hardy. Well, I shouldn't say gimmicks. I guess I should just say feuds. Matt Hardy always has like the gimmicks that are entertaining, like Matt Hardy version 1, where he was putting up like little like facts about himself, where he's like, I hate mustard. He's shit like that. Dude, he is hysterical.
Hall of Fame talent.
And I like the big money thing that they're doing now. They're bringing that back. I think that's great.
That was a great feud. That was a great gimmick in TNA too.
I think it's great now.
Even though he was world champion for like 2 seconds when he was
money, Matt. You know what that did lead to?
The Broken Universe,
Broken Matt. You know,
that's great storytelling.
Lovely. All right, this one I want to just roast. This man says, Determination Sands says Elias should become champ when crowds return. No.
He just thinks that like concerts, that him giving a concert is going to be enough to get him over as a WWE champion. No, unless Elias changes his finisher, then Elias isn't getting a push anytime soon.
He's a complete gimmick act, and I haven't seen him do anything in the ring that's groundbreaking to help him get that push. I just don't. I don't think. No.
I mean,
no.
Like I was saying to Nick, I called Nick at the gym today, and I was just kind of saying, like, a gimmick act like that is never really meant for like the big belt. Unless you're talking about if you wanted to give Elias like a U.S. title run, I'm with that. I got no problem with
I'm all for that too.
A mid-card run wouldn't hurt anybody, but
when you say become champ, I'm assuming you think WWE champion since he's on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
No, especially now, because look at Raw's top part. Are you gonna have Elias even if you build the man up? Are you gonna have him beat Orton? Are you gonna have him beat Lashley? Are you gonna have him beat Drew?
No.
Damn it! Are you gonna have him beat Sheamus?
No.
Now that you mentioned Randy Orton, my levels of excitement are through the roof for this Fiend return.
I'm excited. All right, let me get to the Fiend take. Then. Let me jump to the Fiend take. Where's the one that? All right, An average name tells us, and we appreciate the thought that you put into this. He says, this one is bound to get some heat, but I do not like the Fiend as a gimmick. I don't know why, but something about his old Wyatt family gimmick enthralled me much more than Big Man and Scary Mask hurt people does. It's old and done to death, and I only respect other wrestlers who do the same thing, like Kane or The Undertaker, because they lasted as long as they did with gimmicks that have no business lasting as long as they do. And they also had much better writing and booking. That's not really the Fiend's fault. Curious to see what you guys' reaction will be to that one. So,
all right, I kind of have something to say about that.
Go for it.
Number one, this dude just completely discredited like Bray Wyatt as like a creative mind in wrestling. Completely discredit them. Because he's saying the Fiend isn't going to like last. Essentially, the Fiend's going to last a lot longer than I think he thinks it's going to.
I think it's going to last longer than it should, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but just because that character has a certain shelf life of its revenge against everybody, I feel like Bray can continue to make that work, even though it's not to the core of what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like the man's point in saying that Big Man and Scary Mask hurts people that was the one that I didn't understand to me, because if anything, I know Kane had a layered story. Undertaker has a layered past. But Bray in The Fiend has a much better layered story, I think, than either three of them. Because, look, you're out to avenge everything that Bray messed up with in his first run. So you have layers to that, and that can continue to build as The Fiend continues. Like, imagine the layers that's going to happen down the road. The man just got burned alive in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Like,
I think, to be fair, when it comes to both versions of Bray Wyatt, the old version and the current Fiend, I think the booking just... I'm not going to say booking has ruined the current Fiend, but booking has not helped either Wyatt out.
Right.
I like both the gimmicks. I like the more Waylon Mercy kind of like maniacal psycho.
The cult leader.
Riddles.
Yeah, the speaking riddles cult leader.
Yeah,
awesome.
I like that, but they never booked him strongly because they kept having him lose all the time. And then the Fiend has the same issue, or has had the same issue, freaking that BS Hell in a Cell match, losing to Goldberg in Saudi Arabia. Like, I mean, like, I don't like I've said, I don't think the Fiend needs the title, but if you're gonna give him the title, don't make him fucking lose to Goldberg.
Never, ever. That still gets me fucking mad to this day.
Everyone's mad about it, and it was 4 years ago today. While we're on the topic of Goldberg, it was 4 years ago today. Goldberg ended Kevin Owens' amazing run.
That 2-week run as Universal Champion?
No, it was longer than that. It was months.
Was it?
Yeah, because the whole Jericho list
right after SummerSlam.
Era,
I can't believe
shit.
did that.
That whole Jericho list era, he was the champ through all that.
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
The problem. That's the problem with the Owens reign, is that Jericho just outshined him, and that should have been for the belt, because Brock and Goldberg did not need the belt.
No, that shouldn't have been for the United States Championship. It should have been for the Universal Championship.
You know, Brock and Goldberg.
No. US title. No, I'm not talking about Brock and Goldberg. I'm talking about Owens and Jericho. They like feuded over the wrong belt, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I agree.
I've heard podcasts where they both talked about this. Kevin and Chris obviously both wanted to have the big Mania title match, and they should have, but they took the belt off Owens, and then they put, I don't know if they put him on first or second. They put him on second, gave him like 10 minutes to what was a feud that was months in the making. Like, even like, I'm pretty sure it was like before the Rumble that like whole friendship thing started. I don't remember exactly when, but that feud was happening for well over like probably 6 months.
Yep.
Feud. I guess you could call it a feud, even though they were friends for most of it, but you get the point. The seeds have been planted for more than 6 months.
The story.
And then Vince gave them 10 minutes, and they tried their best with what they could, but the feud outshined the match, and Vince was so disappointed after that.
It's his fault.
Yeah, Vince fucked him over, but
Anyways, back to the Fiend. I think the issue with him is WWE has never had any clue on how to book the Fiend or Bray Wyatt, because to a point, Vince, I think, just has something in his mind where he thinks that Bray is invincible. Like that whatever happens, this man is so smart, he can come back and he can make it happen. The issue is the fans who pay attention to the win-losses, they'll say, okay, if you're such a big deal, how come you lose every time you're in a big spot? Like, look, you never, ever, ever should have put him in the title picture. Never mind just the title picture itself, until not even now in this day and era, like not even like a year or so after, a year or two down the line. You should have kept him away. You should have had him like Adam Blampier did a Fiend booking video, and ever since I saw that video, I've been angry every moment of my life, just thinking about how they ruined that. They didn't ruin it. Like what they showed us isn't bad. It's been mostly great. But the issue with him is that when things are 80-20 good, if the 20% is that drastically bad, it hurts and it adds up.
They shot him in the foot twice with the titles
already.
Vince just seems to think
Goldberg.
Vince just seems to think that Bray Wyatt can like be invincible as long as he keeps giving him like cool shit. Exactly. Like I might be the only one who thinks this, but I thought his new like Wyatt family gimmick when he faced Kane and Undertaker, when he like stole their powers and shit, I thought that shit was kind of cool, but not very looked fondly upon because of the shitty match.
Not even just that, because everybody knew he was gonna lose. So why have him do all this cool shit when it doesn't matter, when the whole family is gonna get squashed by some 50-year-old dudes? Like that's how the wrestling fan today thinks. They're not going to think of it as, Kane and
exactly
forever. But, like people get old.
Exactly, but that's what I'm trying to say. Vince just seems to think that as long as he keeps giving him cool shit to do, he'll stay invincible. Like now, I swear to God, if Randy Orton wins this feud after pulling a whole satanic ritual and like what seems to be like a possession going on.
Randy vomiting.
He's vomiting like
it looks cool. Bile. I'm not even hating on that. I think that looks kind of cool.
I'm not hating on it. I think it's great, but you just can't have.
It doesn't matter if it's not paid off correctly.
Yeah, no, Randy Orton talking to Randy Orton in like a Freddy Krueger's-esque like way was like very funny. The way he laughed actually sounded like Freddy Krueger.
You just like can't keep going through this revolving door of the Fiend does all this mind tricks and like whatever. Like the Fiend gets into his opponent's head, but then when they finally square off, I mean, there's been plenty of times where the Fiend has destroyed people in the ring. Like that's all. Like we forget to mention that every once in a while. There has been matches where the Fiend has just dominated as he should. But when the Fiend's gotten into the more high-profile feuds, it's always give or like fuck up the main character, and then the main character overcomes, and then the Fiend disappears. Like the Fiend just needs to win a long-term feud.
We need consistent wins.
Yes.
Because I feel like for no stretch of his career has he had consistent wins. Because as consistent as the wins got, like look. As he was the Fiend, he didn't lose from SummerSlam up until Super Showdown, like right before Mania. So that's about a 8-9 month winning streak. That's cool. But when you out of nowhere he loses to a suplex, not even a jackhammer, a suplex from Goldberg, that ruins every little bit of momentum you just built behind the man. And they pull the rug underneath him every single time. It's not even Bray's fault. And this shit would be cool if he continuously won. If I had it my way, Blampier's booking was as good as possible with this. The Fiend doesn't lose in 2 years as he comes and he hunts down everybody. And you do it a little differently every single time so people don't get tired of it.
Even if he does lose, make it at least just make it make sense.
Pay it off, right? You can't just be random. Oh, Goldberg! Wow, his ratings are good. Let's kill the character.
But and also part of that is when they do these Saudi shows, like the reason why Shawn came out of retirement, like the Undertaker wrestled in Saudi, Trips, Kane. It's because the Saudi government or whatever pretty much picks who they want on the show, and WWE has to try to please them. So,
but going into that match, I was convinced. I was like, "There's no way they put the belt on Goldberg. There's no way."
Well,
I'm
pretty sure the Saudi people were like, "We want Goldberg on the show, and we want him to win."
I know, but you know what you could do? I could book this better myself in my head. Look, you can say like the Fiend's whole thing is revenge, right? Righting the wrongs that are clearly wrong. He's a heel, but he has babyface motives of righting wrongs. Imagine if he just brought in the Kevin Owens thing to that feud, right? Kevin Owens he was with Seth, but I mean, imagine if he brought that up. Goldberg already squashed someone's momentum. You can't do that with me, that type of thing. Like, that would make more sense than just, oh, big Goldberg, he's scary. He's fighting the Fiend. The Fiend is scary. Goldberg wins. Never made sense. So while I agree that the Fiend has been shot in the foot and he survived a lot of stuff that would have killed anybody else's character ever, it's not his fault. And there's only so much that I guess he could put up with.
I think the Fiend's going in a great direction right now with the whole Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton stuff, but it'll be interesting to see if they'll keep that up or if they'll fuck it up again.
I just wonder how they're gonna pay that off.
Dude, and Bo Dallas hasn't wrestled a match.
Bo Dallas should just become like the new Steve from Blue's Clues.
Dude, that's what I'm like saying. Like, he hasn't. Bo Dallas is still under contract. Hasn't wrestled a match in like 450 days. Just like fucking like that would be a perfect person to put under the Fiend's wing.
Dude, they missed that boat when like. Listen, I think Bray should have always had like a huger selection of goons for the Wyatt family. I think Bo Dallas should have been a part of that before like the era right before the B team days. That's when Bo Dallas should have been a part of the Wyatt family.
You know what would have been really good though? Like the whole Bo leave thing where he almost seemed mental. He was like, you can do anything as long as you Bo leave. What if that drove that man to madness? You go online, you see the things people say about Bo Dallas because he hasn't done nothing. What if that drives him to madness? You put him in the funhouse, perfect match, and it makes total sense every way.
Dude, exactly. It's like I when they like did these like pandemic firings, I was surprised he didn't get let go, considering they haven't used him in it.
They let go of him. You might piss off Bray, and if you haven't pissed off Bray, it's a line you got to toe. It's a line you got to toe, and they fire the man's dad. Like it's. I don't know. They're
probably just like paying him to like stay home and like chill.
Just
very happy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it'd be really cool. I think if Bray when Bray beats Orton at Mania, I think Bray should change up the lantern. Instead of it being Bray's head, I think it should be Randy's head. I think that'd just be a really cool like minor detail.
I'd like that.
And Randy has a headless horseman gimmick.
I mean, yeah,
Randy's just looking for his head.
Dude, I think whatever Orton's gimmick is after the Fiend just demolishes him in the mental war, it's going to be a funhouse match at Mania. I think we all assume it's going to be, and it's going to be fantastic. And it damn near might be the same thing as Cena or better, dare I say it. I just want to see how Randy rebuilds from that. Because that's going to be
No, I don't think he should rebuild. I think Randy should completely hit the self-destruct button. I think Randy should go crazier. I think he should go more sadistic.
Perfect.
Anything, if from what you remember him in 2009, 10 times worse. I want him beating the shit out of just random fans.
Like, I'm sorry.
That too. He needs to start screaming, I'm sorry. At
Anthony's all-time favorite gimmick.
Instead of going Stephanie and Triple H, he goes after their children.
Yeah, he just starts
Randy
putting them in
the shit out of King Maxwell. Big money. Dude, Anthony's favorite gimmick of all time is Randy Orton sending someone to the hospital within an inch of their life. and proceeding to just apologize. I'm sorry.
Speaking of sending people to the hospital, even though we're past most of the AEW talk, what happened to Shaq after that match?
He was out inside the NBA the next day.
Well, in kayfabe, what happened? Because they loaded him into the ambulance and then he disappeared. Where'd he go?
He broke kayfabe.
He went.
He just broke it.
He went Shazam. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I mean, he is Shazam.
Can we talk about Cody Rhodes no selling a power bomb that was from 7-foot Shaq, in B to B
a Brody
Lee tribute, and Cody Rhodes just kind of no sold it, smacked him in the face, got right back up, and started jumping.
Yeah, it's
you sick bastard.
A lot of people hate on Cody. I don't hate Cody, but
I don't hate Cody either. But I think he needs to be a heel. I just think his position. This is just off to the side.
When he first got released by WWE, and he was on the Indies and Ring of Honor and whatever, and in Impact, and he was a member of the Bull Club, dude.
Money.
He was fucking amazing.
Money.
He was just a dick.
Money. And it's not even that anymore, though. Just his position in the company. Like obviously, it's the same thing as Triple H. One, the company is just starting up, so it's a different thing. Triple H is building up NXT. He's been out of the spotlight enough where he's kind of a face in this situation if he were to be on TV. Cody is building this company, is still featuring himself, and a lot of people know that, and it's kind of a line that you kind of draw.
Yeah.
Your viewers kind of know it, and it affects their mind. So if he were to be just an egotistical heel, like to the top, I think it would be great. I don't know how it's gonna look.
But I don't know. I feel like that's copying WWE a little bit. I mean, that whole like evil man in charge gimmick is like kind of like almost.
Well, I think he should be. I think Cody Rhodes should go back to his dickhead heel ways, like he was when he first left when he first got back on the Indies. But I don't think it would be in a authority figure way, because Tony Khan has made it clear that he is never going to be on camera as an authority figure, and he said he hates them, and I'm pretty sure Cody agrees with that sentiment. So if he does go heel, I don't think it's going to be under the authority figure line of work.
That's fair. I understand that, but I feel like his
he is a great fucking heel though.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna cap this off with one last hot take. I kind of don't know how I feel about it, even though I love the man. Cinnamon Buns. Oh, Cinnamon Buns. Yeah, I get it. Says R-Truth needs a world title run, deserves one too. I think R-Truth would be deserving of one. I feel like they've gone too deep into R-Truth as an idiot catalog at this point. So if you kind of made him serious, it's kind of out of left field, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I agree that he like deserves it. I'm sorry to cut you off, Nick, but I unless they have him like come back as like that one world championship run from like 2002, then I don't know. I don't know how they would do it.
Come back as like the little Jimmy gimmick. Like insane, like that would be. I loved R-Truth's heel run.
I think that heel run was great and is like probably his best work in his career. But I think if they were gonna put a world title on R-Truth in WWE, I think that would have been the time. But he ran right into Super Cena, so that wasn't gonna happen. Obviously he's deserving of one, but I don't think they would. I don't think they would take the time, and I don't think they would find a way.
And also, if you're gonna give
up to a legitimate, because he's like 50 now. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it now. You got to do it soon. And he's been in the silly R-Truth phase for 8 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get you out of that once you've been in it for so long, unless something happens and he just flips a switch or something. I don't know. And also, if you're going to give somebody a world title run just for the sake of, they deserve a title run, R-Truth is obviously going to be a Hall of Famer. What if he gave that run to someone like a Cesaro?
He has 50 24/7 title reigns. I don't think that's ever going to get broken. So
yeah,
he's got that.
That belt's synonymous with that man. I mean, he would deserve it. I don't think he needs it. It'd be nice to see him get it, but I don't know how you get from point A to point B with that.
I forgot to mention this earlier when we were talking about Elias, and now that I mentioned the 24/7 title, when they had that backstage segment where Damian Priest got a little sassy, like he's wearing the 24/7 title, just like try to beat him for it, like.
Nah, well, I think the gimmick that they got with Bad Bunny is kind of cool because nobody's gonna test him because everybody's afraid of Priest.
True.
I like building up Priest because I think he's real funny. That's a no.
That's a
he
no.
said.
It's a no.
No.
No, it's
That's a no.
He said that's a no.
Got a little sassy.
A little bit fruity.
Sassy, bro.
Oh, dude, that was funny. I love Priest. I hope they push that man. I would enjoy a little bit of a Priest run up top. He just seems cool. I've always liked wrestlers that seem cool. I always enjoy like whenever Samoa Joe speaks. I feel like he understands things.
Oh my god! Can we put him back in the fucking ring?
Apparently he's hurt.
Samoa Joe.
Apparently he's hurt, and he said that he's hurt, and they're trying to like get over that. I think he had a bunch of concussion problems. And that's never something I play around.
To be honest, I don't remember. I figured it was because he was hurt, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
It's an injury thing. He said he's trying to get himself back into the ring, but they're both kind of taking it slow. So apparently it's not a beef thing, which if I were in Samoa Joe's shoes from the outside, it kind of seems like, like they didn't put a belt on you. He should have taken the belt off Lesnar. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get that up.
After the whole, obviously the fallout from Benoit and CT, their WWE's been very, very cautious when it comes to concussion and neck issues.
As they should. As anybody, any company in the world,
I mean, I don't blame them at all, but I don't know. They've been very cautious for things like that in the past, but at the same time, Daniel Bryan came back, Edge came back, so it's not out of the question. So we'll see.
I mean, those guys were retired. Joe is just kind of biding time. I think he'll be back eventually, but once he comes back, that man needs a title.
Absolutely.
If you're not going to pay off the tribal chief thing with somebody logical like The Rock, and that would be hard to do because you got to get the title off.
Dude, Samoa Joe. Is Samoa Joe actually Samoan, or did they just?
Oh, he's Samoan. That's a Samoan man.
I don't think so. Is he?
Man's name is Samoa Joe. How could you be Samoa Joe and not Samoan?
Yokozuna was Samoan and he was Japanese. I don't know. I think he's actually Samoan, but that would be funny if the Samoan tribal chief Roman Reigns loses to a fellow Samoan.
Yeah, Samoan American descent. Yo, his real name is Nufolau.
All right.
Some of the Samoan names are a little
Joe. I like Joe better.
Joe is better. Anyway. Samoa Joe beats Roman and he's like, I'm new head of the table.
That would be great. If you're not going to pay it off with The Rock, I don't want them to pay it off with Edge because I don't think Edge really should take the belt off Reigns personally.
I mean, that would be cool if The Rock came back and was like, I'm the real head of the table because he's fucking rich multi-billionaire, but
yes, sir.
I mean, maybe you don't necessarily need the belt for that feud.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I don't think you do. And if you're going to take the belt off of Roman, Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe
Joe's better as a heel, though.
Listen, I'm just trying to hear Samoa Joe's like screaming heel promos.
Joe could be a Joe.
Wendy.
Wendy. Joe could be a tweener though. I feel like that's a role that he has nailed down to a T. Like when I think of tweeners, I think Samoa Joe has nailed that to the point where he's believable as a badass and he's gonna fight whoever he sees. That just it makes sense. It passes
you
the
look at me when I'm talking to you, or we can settle this right now.
I can't believe he didn't beat Brock. I'm so upset.
Why didn't they give him the belt on that?
Why didn't he beat Brock? It was like Great Balls of Fire.
So many wrestlers should have beaten Brock.
Oh my god, that match wasn't. Oh my god.
Great Balls.
Remember that Great Balls of Fire?
And I thought he was gonna take it because he beat the hell out of Brock before the bell, and he put him through a table, and I was like, oh, he's winning it. There's no way. And then just
Super Brock.
Nah, Joe or Braun should have beaten Brock for that title during that reign.
1000%.
One of those people.
Because Brock didn't even need the title at that point.
Honestly, Braun, I really don't care about Braun anymore.
No one really does.
They slid him into the Big Show slot, and I feel like he had so much more to offer before you kind of put him into that slot where it's, oh, here's the big guy. He can be good, he can be bad, and we're going to flip him according to whatever we need. I don't need that. I think Strowman could have still been a dominant heel for a year or two. This just doesn't feel.
I just think the big thing was he deserved a title run years before it happened, and then when it did happen, I didn't care.
Nobody was happy with that.
The only reason why I cared was because he fucking beat Goldberg. That's the only reason why I cared. After that, I wanted that belt off of me immediately.
The best part about that feud was the whole thing with Bray, that whole arc. I know a lot of people don't like that arc, but I thought it was decent. It was a story that needed to be told.
I thought it was all right. A lot of people just didn't like the Swamp fight, and I'm kind of iffy on it. It was like okay.
I'm iffy on it, but I didn't think it was terrible.
I didn't think it was bad.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was okay. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't like
people swear it was the worst thing they've ever seen. I'm like, come on, bro.
Do you remember the first time they did a fight at the Wyatt compound between the New Day and the Wyatt family?
I remember they did it. I actually don't even remember. And that's funny because I'm a big New Day fan and I'm a big Bray fan, and I don't even remember.
Dude, I'm pretty
over there of the fucking on the freaking New Day poster of fucking them in the white, the New Day in the white gear.
Dude, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure nobody looked back on that fondly. I don't remember.
Well, the worst one was the House of Horrors match.
Oh yeah, that might be what
which
I'm confused
saw
about.
Bray Wyatt get his revenge via Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Why did Randy and why did WWE
maybe
hate Bryant
Jinder
so much?
Dude, remember freaking Jinder came back on Raw and then got hurt immediately after, and now Jinder's gone again?
Good.
I want to see him just like fight with Drew. It doesn't need to be over the title. Just watch him fight for a little bit.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of people hate the Jinder Mahal title reign. I don't think it was horrible. I just think it lasted a little too long.
No, it shouldn't have happened.
Jinder never should have been champion ever.
If
you built him up, it would have made sense. But that man went straight from giving Finn Balor a concussion to just being like, "Oh yeah, you do look good. You do deserve the belt. You are Indian as well. We can just throw you up."
Yeah,
there.
that's literally all that. All that title reign was to
boost
the Indian market,
boost Indian fans, just like they did back in the early 2000s when Eddie won the WWE title. But people actually liked Eddie, so.
Yeah, this is true.
But I mean, he did. In all fairness, he did boost the India numbers, so it wasn't a complete wash. They do love him over there. It wasn't a complete wash, and I wouldn't say Jinder's a bad worker. But the only issue is that they just threw him into the picture with absolutely no build up.
Well, just the fact he disappeared and came back fucking huge.
Yeah.
Was like shock value for a lot of people, and then Drew did the same thing for the most part, but
at least you got to see Drew's progression.
Yeah.
Drew's progression throughout like the years, you were able to see him get bigger because he never was really away from a company like Jinder.
And he was always a superstar in whatever company he was, whether it was the Indies, it was Evolve, it was Impact, NXT. He was always a big deal. Jinder was always a jobber up to the point where he was randomly a dominant WWE champion. And
bro, if you ask me,
let Shinsuke win the title.
But that was like the early days of the brand split too, because kind of early, because they had like Cena at the top there for when it first started and stuff, but Cena disappeared. A couple other guys were out of the picture, so the SmackDown side, it started off strong, and then it kind of faded away.
It went downhill.
Yeah,
right
WWE
after Mania 33.
WWE fumbled the bag though with that SummerSlam match between Mahal and Shinsuke.
That was
Absolutely.
That had
First of
Shinsuke
all,
winning writing all over.
They
it.
just
No. Hold on. Dude, first of all, it should have been Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke for the belt with Shinsuke going over. So they first of all, it makes Jinder not look weak, and it still kind of has the high market, and he could challenge for the belt again. Along with Baron.
The tagline that Shinsuke wins.
Yeah, Shinsuke wins against Baron Corbin. At least you get a successful cash in for the Money in the Bank out of it. You get to build a whole new main event contender, and you get Shinsuke as WWE champion.
Well, during those early SmackDown Live years, Shinsuke was always at the top of the card, but never got the light. They never wanted to put him over. And then they just gave him a nut shot gimmick for months.
Yeah, but by the way, another hot take. This will be the last one. You mentioned Corbin. Somebody said Isaiah 2400 said that King Corbin is one of the most underrated wrestlers today. I completely agree.
I agree.
Incredible as a heel.
He's an incredible. Yeah. I mean, it's go away heel heat. It's not character heel heat, but I do think Baron's great in the ring.
Oh, undisputedly.
I love his moveset a lot. I just think they need to do something. He fucking won that King of the Ring 2 years ago. Give him something different.
Yep.
Dude, if you ask me, King Corbin is still. I'm not even calling him King Corbin. He doesn't even deserve the King moniker anymore. That man is still recovering from the failed cash-in. He hasn't done jack shit except except the pointless King of the Ring tournament.
He's been in some big feuds. I will give him that. He's been a big part of their programming. Were they the really bad eras? Yes. Was it all his fault?
No.
Maybe.
No.
But to develop that type of go away heat is still impressive. That's like Vicky Guerrero levels of nuclear heat. That's impressive.
Did y'all forget that? Did y'all forget that Baron Corbin is the one who retired Kurt Angle?
Oh my God, I forgot. Oh yeah, he did something big. Then he retired Kurt Angle.
But that's it. If that's going to be your only accolade in wrestling, I might as well just win one King of the Ring and retire.
That's a solid resume. I don't know.
Kurt Angle wanted it to be Cena. Everyone else wanted it to be Cena.
And I remember when they announced Corbin, people were like, "That's got to be a meme," and it wasn't.
It wasn't a meme.
It was just quite literally Baron Corbin.
It was Baron Corbin literally beating Kurt Angle.
If they go back to the lone wolf gimmick, I'd enjoy it.
He can't do it bald though, is the problem.
No, yeah.
You think so?
Baron went downhill when he shaved his fucking head.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
That went to different gimmick changes as well.
It's just I'm just sick of.
He could have still been Constable Corbin with a ponytail.
They bring the King of the Ring back every few years randomly. Give it to someone who a heel they want to get over. Give him the fucking shitty King gimmick, and then it sucks. Then it sucks every time at this point. Literally, if you're gonna do a King of the Ring, you got to make it a yearly thing.
They should just go back to having the winner of the tournament get a title opportunity again. They should just
they got to make it a wrestling tournament again, as opposed to whoever wins it gets the fucking stupid heel King gimmick, because it only worked for a few people.
It worked for
King of the Ring winner.
What's up? What was that question?
When's the last Babyface King of the Ring winner? When was that?
Before whoever won before Booker T in 2006.
It's been 17 years since we've had a Babyface King of the Ring.
It went from Booker T in 2006 to Regal to Sheamus to Wade Barrett and now to Corbin.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
I think it might have been Edge.
No, Brock?
Brock was in 2003.
Was he a face?
No, actually, no. That was 2002, and I actually have no idea. That tournament is the whole reason he was even facing The Rock at SummerSlam anyway.
Maybe Edge?
In 2001 against fucking Kurt Angle? Yeah, probably. It's been 20 years since we've had a Babyface King of the Ring winner.
How far?
Yeah, dude, and it's
how far?
And so King of the Ring when Corbin won was 2019, and the last King of the Ring before that was 4 years before
And it was Wade Barrett, right?
Barrett.
And he was out of the company within a year.
And before that, it was Sheamus. Before that, it was Regal. And before that, it was Booker T.
The King Sheamus gimmick, that sucked.
And I think it worked for Regal. I think Regal was a good choice to give that gimmick to. I think it worked for King Booker too for a little bit. But other than that, it's...
The King of the Ring has lost its luster. It needs to come back.
You could establish a real star in that tournament, and it's just kind of been like a resume stat pattern for some mid-carders.
Yeah, they need it. I think they need to just make it a wrestling tournament, and like Crant said, whoever wins it gets a title shot, as opposed to whoever wins gets this fucking shitty crown, and
this stupid fucking gimmick change.
Everyone hates them.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've pretty much covered anything. Anything else you guys want to add before we call it wraps?
I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I need to go.
I need another burger from Lou's Lunch.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. I forgot to mention it this podcast. If you've stuck around this long, because you probably haven't, but if you did stuck around this long, this podcast is unofficially sponsored by Lou's Lunch.
No, officially powered by, tolerated by, cherished by Lou's Lunch, New Haven, CT. Get yourself a cheeseburger or a hamburger or a Luigi Cannoli's pie or a house-made s'mores pie.
Oh,
coffee!
Oh my goodness,
that coffee was great.
Fox and Park,
the home of the first burger ever. Still making them like they used to, over 100 years ago. God bless.
We need a salute. We need a salute, man. Shout out Lou's Lunch.
Our tummies are full.
Tummies are full. So I wish I didn't hate wrestling. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Damn it, Russo.
Vince Russo did nothing.
He did it all.
Ruined it. He hasn't done shit in 20 years.
What are you talking about, bro?
What are you talking about, bro? I did nothing to Eric Bischoff.
Thank you for joining. Bischoff. This has been your boy Eric Bischoff signing off with William Regal.
I'm like Derek Bischoff.
Damn. You gonna take that?
It got serious. It got serious. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Me and Toyz at Mania. 2K19 Universe mode. It's been a while in the making. The main event for the world title.
Life.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be a video on that. I don't know if I'll make a video before that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't whatever. Anyways, thank you for joining. Episode 2. I'm out. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.